welcome to this week's Dominate Dominion. It's Dominate Dominion number 75. I'm Rheingoldriver, and casting with me yet again this week is HaIfhearted.
Hello everyone, I am back in all my terrible glory.
It's okay, you got this. And we have a couple chat bans that you could talk about. The two teams that we are actually casting in round one, I believe it is the round of 32, I'm not 100% sure. It is the Saves versus Osamabinswaggin, the red team, the Saves, the blue team. And the chat bans, Malphite, Kassadin, Rammus, and Ezreal, you can see them there on the bottom of the overlay.
I'm kind of happy for this game because Barcode is finally playing. Like, I noticed that he'd always log into like the DominateDominion chat on occasion, but he'd never say anything, and now he's actually doing something. I'm happy.
And doing something seems to include not banning a champion.
Oh my. That does appear to be a thing.
Yeah, not too sure about that. Maybe the only bans that they really wanted were Kassadin and Ezreal, and they're just going to be super confident here. I hope that he's not just AFK. That'd be cool.
That would be really unfortunate. Oh, nope, that's...
Alright, there's a Heimerdinger ban. Alright, so what do you think of the bans we've had so far, though?
Well, let's see, Cass was banned out. We did see a Malphite Rammus ban as well, so clearly there is a lot of hate for anti-AD tanks. And Ezreal is banned because, I don't know, he's Ezreal.
Well, Ezreal's banned against Tay frequently, and, you know...
Yeah. Well, I mean, he would be a potential ban because, like, Tay's one of the best Ezreals. Well, Tay's not in this game. I think Ezreal, they just don't like his monogenderness.
Yeah, Ezreal is very highly mobile, so if you want to do something more of a lockdown composition, we actually have two AD carry bans with the Vayne and the Ezreal both taken out, and could be a first pick Riven here.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting pick. Riven is a very powerful AD scaling bruiser. It'll be interesting. It's an interesting first pick.
Alright, I'm gonna try to get the volume on my mic boosted up a little bit, and if I do that, then I can boost HaIfhearted also. So I'm gonna let HaIfhearted continue talking about the picks and bans while I try to take care of that.
Alright, so we do see the Yeah, we do see the Ahri locked in for, I'm just going to call it Purple Team again because I can't remember names. So we do see the Ahri locked in, we do see the Garen highlighted. Ahri, very powerful, very mobile AP caster, and Garen is just really tanky, fairly damaging, tanky, bruisery, damagey frontline thing you can put in. On blue team, we do see the Renekton being locked in. Renekton is actually a surprisingly... you don't see Renekton too often in Dominion, but he is a surprisingly powerful bruiser, and we do also see the Ryze being locked in as well. Ryze, solid, short to mid-range, a quote-unquote AP caster. On purple team, we see the we do see a Teemo being locked in. Death to all Teemos, but the first one by his side. Teemo, very annoying, very mobile map control champion, and Corki being highlighted. Corki is another AD that we don't see terribly often in Dominion, but with the recent Triforce buffs, I could definitely see that potentially being a thing. We'll have to see how well Tim the Enchanter plays.
Alright, so it looks like it's too loud now. You can hear my static in the background.
Static now, yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and turn that boost down, but it looks like the mics are just going to be a little bit on the low side. I can...
Oh, that's a little bit, yeah, it's too quiet now.
Alright, how about now? Is it better now?
That's better, it's better.
Alright.
So overall...
And you know what? Baby Pop just requested K-pop during breaks, so I'm going to have to do it.
Of course Baby would request K-pop.
See, the thing is, I was going to not play K-pop, because people always complain about my K-pop, so I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll just play something else. But someone's now requested K-pop, so I have to do it. I just have to.
Oh, there. Okay, so we do see the Xerath locked in. That's a pretty cool choice from blue team. Xerath is a powerful late-game mage, very, very dangerous once he starts to scale and gets those items. He just rips whole teams apart from extreme safety. And Annie Annie is another like just powerful like burst mage. She's also respectably tanky for a mage, so she can soak a hit. And I like to play her as more of like a bruiser than a mage. So she's an interesting choice. And overall on purple team, we do see the Shyvana being highlighted. Shyvana, while she does get kited for, oh nope, looks like Jacino is still making up his mind the way he wants to play.
Well, I'm sure something will be locked in there, but we see actually two kind of squishy compositions from these two teams, given typical Dominion compositions. I feel it got a little bit tankier
You do
with
see the Shen being locked in. Yeah. Overall on purple team seems more going for more of the kite comp. They do have like the Ahri, Corki+Teemo with like a Garen, and it looks like they just want to just play the whole run backwards game. Like, you guys come at us, and we'll throw spells at you and run away. Whereas on blue team, they're more of a divey, tanky team. Like, we do have like the Riven, we have the Renekton, and we have like a Ryze, who is more of like a tanky bruiser mage thing. And I guess they have either, I would assume either the Xerath or the Annie to hold up. I actually don't know who their bot lane is. It's going to be interesting to see where these teams put their individual members on the map.
Yeah, it could be a Corki bot lane, or I don't actually know for either of these two teams.
I would expect to see Corki top simply because otherwise his team would have very little AD scaling.
Yeah, and Corki is just so ridiculous in the first fight, being able to get that Q off onto everyone, getting all that damage. And then the other thing is that assuming that he has his Gatling gun, he's just going to be able to shed armor. And, even Garen not doing too much damage, assuming that Garen's top lane, if he's spinning on top of the Gatling gun, then that's going to be quite a bit of damage that they're taking.
Oh. Okay, so you already have the summoners blockers off.
Yeah, as soon as we get into the 3-minute delay, can remove those, and we actually see only 3 revives on the side of Osamabinswaggin, and the saves with 2 revives there. So 5 revives total in the game. Okay, so obviously most people take revive on Dominion. I'm honestly not sure how I feel about having a couple revives if you're not going to have everyone having revive. How do you feel about that?
I feel that just as long as you know how to use it, just like if your teammates aren't comfortable with revive, and this is something I've been saying for a while, like if you aren't comfortable with revive or you don't know how to use it, I would say just go with what works for you, because it's better to have like 2 combat summoners or just 2 summoners that you're used to using than have a revive and just you waste every single time it's up, because that's worse than basically not having a summoner. So, I mean, like, obviously we have 3 people over on blue team and 2 people on purple team not running revive, and, like, that's their choice, and, like, if it works for them, that's great, because it just means, like, Annie with her flash and barrier, those are, those are powerful spells. Like, flash lets Annie make huge plays, and barrier is a pretty powerful combat summoner, and, like, we see the Ahri running flash, they are playmaking spells if you can use them, and they're up more often, so, again, it's not necessarily a detriment to your team. It just depends. Honestly, I do think that revive is slightly overutilized. Like, I know Z-Mike, Matt's Portal, like, he used to run revive lists. Like, he used to, like, just run, like, no revive on, like, Lulu or Janna, and he would just never die. So it is an option. Although, again, I would consider it more on an extremely safe champion.
Yeah, and it definitely is going to influence how the windmill fight goes, because the saves is going to want to make an effort to focus Teemo or Ahri, because those 2 champions, you kill them first, they're not able to revive. Whereas if you focus Corki or Garen, or Shen, then that champion is going to be able to revive, come back to the fight. And so taking revive only on a couple people, in the windmill fight in particular, turns everyone else on your team into a tank.
Yeah, then again, if you look at a purple team, like they do have the 2 champions that they don't have revives on are the ranged backline champions. Those are the ones that are just going to be kind of on positioning to stay alive.
Alright, so getting into the load screen here. This is the round of 32, DominateDominion number 75. And gonna introduce the 2 teams here as we get into the screen. Wait for everyone to load. But It is going to be on the blue team. We have the saves. It is Wolfighter, not to be confused with Wolfer, playing Ryze. Lollyberry on Riven, Razorul on Renekton, Nerdy and I Know It playing Xerath, and Tolby on Annie. I'm Rheingoldriver, and casting with me.
I am HaIfhearted, and on a purple team, I'm so bad at team names. What's their team name again?
Their team name is Osamabinswaggin.
Oh, that's pretty swag, I had to admit. So on purple team, we have team Osamabinswaggin with Buff and Rocks Gaming as Garen, Barcode playing as Ahri, him the Enchanter playing as Corki, Money Making Tree as Teemo, and Jasinu 1003 playing as Shen.
And I'm going to make it my goal to call Barcode I pipe pipe I pipe 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 I at least one time during the actual game.
Why would you do that to yourself?
That is going to be my goal. That's going to be my goal.
Tomato.
I have to do it. I have to do it. But alright, so we talked a little bit in the Champ Select about how we were unsure who's going to go bot lane. But now that we have Summoners revealed, who do you expect to see in that matchup?
I still haven't the slightest idea. I mean, like, blue team has a bunch of people, like, basically everything on blue team could go bot, and a lot of things on purple, like, Ahri could bot, Corki could potentially do it. I mean, Teemo, not exactly an optimal bot lane champion, but I have seen the occasional Teemo bot in solo queue. And Garen can bot, too.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Garen.
They could potentially run a Shen bot and attempt to use his ultimate to like force 5v4s up top.
Yeah.
Option available to them.
The risk of that though is that every single member of blue team can interrupt the Shen teleport.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. One thing I did notice, and that does worry me, is that like none of the teams have like any like serious offensive summoners. Like at best you have an Ignite over on the Ahri, but other than that, like they don't really like you have a like there's a large lack of exhaust, large lack of ignites, and like just like exhaust such an incredibly powerful combat dueling spell, and I do feel like these teams may be slightly underestimating the power of exhaust.
And I think the other thing to look at in terms of summoners is the cleanse that we actually have on Razorul and Renekton.
It's going to be interesting. He's definitely expecting to get a CC down, so it'll be interesting to see how effectively he's able to use that.
Alright, so as always, I like to look at the magic resist that people are running. We have no MR on Teemo, Shen, or Ahri.
Annie, too.
Yeah. Thank God they got locked out from pinging. It will be okay.
Yep, he activated the ping timer.
So if it's looking like it's going to be Tolby on Annie in the bot lane, and if it's not Garen against her in the bot lane, then her opponent is going to have a pretty difficult time without any magic resist. Annie obviously not running magic resist herself, but she does have the Molten Shield to give her, what is it, 20 magic resist? Yeah, to give her an extra 20 MR.
Yeah, we do see the Ahri looking as if she's going to be heading down bot, and I could see Ahri holding that. Who the hell is this guy pinging? That's getting kind of annoying.
Alright, so battle has begun. A couple ghosts over the top lane. And
now we do see Teemo ghosting the battle.
Gonna have two people capture the drill here.
Yeah, that's a thing you could do. I guess they did want the Corki to get a little bit of extra gold, and however, it does look as though they have.
The fight has started. Rune Prison was down onto Garen. He's actually taking quite a bit of damage here. Wolfighter gonna start channeling the point. Corki coming back, but remember they were a little bit late. There's the damage. Stun does land onto Shen. Foster's bomb with the Lollyberry. They captured it already. Boxer Gaming taking a ton of damage. Gonna go down to Garen there. There's the Q across from Xerath. Fight, flash out, cleanse onto Razorul, and chase down onto Money Making Tree. He gets out because of the health. Barely dodges the Arcana Pulse there. Jaren Center and Razorul now fighting. And Razorul gonna make it safely under tower, but Jen Center now getting caught out a little bit. There's the dash forward. Didn't land the slice, can't get the dice. The auto attack from Ryze. Very decisive windmill fight.
And down bot we do see Ahri and Annie just in a little bit of a stalemate right now.
Annie with her stun up. Ahri doesn't want to approach, is a little bit scared of just taking a full combo. And he's still level 5, still has a ways to go before 6, but it's still a scary thing to take that stun.
Over in the top, Garen walked into a little bit of a bush trap, and he lost about 90% of his health as a result of it.
Garen getting trapped in a bush. My, how the tides are turning. Maybe Teemo won't die in a fiery hell this game.
That would be very sad.
I would be really sad too. Charm misses there in the bot lane. Gonna keep going back to farming. Tolvi is doing a good job of slowly pushing the wave, building that creep advantage, but Barcode with a good amount of wave clear. And we have Ryze now being chased by Teemo and Garen. He actually could go down for a gank onto Ahri, but actually he's going to walk straight past Teemo, gets the rune prison down, but he's a little bit caught in between people. There is a disconnect from Renekton. We're going to get into a pause timer. Is Ryze going to live? I want to see your voice, or your votes in the chat. Yes, no.
KDA.
Yeah. Just type yes if you think Ryze is going to live, or no if he's going to die.
Or you can type T for Teemo dies. I'm in favor of that option. Death to all Teemos.
I agree, because we have Xerath coming up from behind, but Xerath also getting chased by Garen there. And, you know, Garen runs pretty fast once he activates his Decisive Strike. So, Xerath could actually be in a little bit of trouble, but he's should have his W up. I can't click on him that way. Xerath.
His W will be up in about 3 seconds. Oh wait, Garen or?
Xerath will have his W, so he'll be able to get that extra range on Arcano Pulse. So he might be able, he wouldn't be able to land a stun that way, obviously, but he might be able to get the damage on Teemo. However, Ryze very, very low on mana. Ryze unlikely to be able to actually turn this just due to his low mana. There's the resume on the game. The taunt comes in, and Ryze is going to go down. Arcano Pulse does come across, but Ryze could not get the one key that was needed, that one overload. And Xerath now walking into a trap, gets the Arcana Pulse across with the stun. There's his ult. Going to be able to get that down onto Garen, but not the third one. The Teemo Shroom is friendly to Teemo. Unfortunately, it's not friendly to Renekton. He's going to get slowed down by it. Selection Center will be able to get out.
One thing I noticed is that there are a lot of Warden's mails that have been bought by Purple Team already. You see the Garen and the Shen with Warden.
And we also see Corki getting caught out win/missed, but Riven picks up the kill anyway. And bot lane, there's a Spirit Rush barrier popped by Annie, going to block a little bit of that ignite damage. There's a Spirit Rush forward again. The stun, I don't think that was actually a stun, has to flash out both champions with one auto attack. And topside, we have another fight, Rune Prison on Garen. He's going to be able to get out, and looks like they're just going to reset.
Yeah, both Ahri and Annie just choosing to back off there after that bot lane engagement. Neither one had enough health to feel safe just sticking around.
And neither one of them has revive either, so if they die, it's for real. Please kill the Teemo. No! Teemo lives.
Oh, no, he's going in for the kill. He's going in. Oh. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it.
Unfortunately, Teemo is not going to die, but Garen is going to get a neutral here on the refinery. And looks like Ezreal and Lollyberry under tower right now, waiting for the minions to get there. Ryze trying to do what Garen just did, but Corki's going to be able to answer pretty quickly. Actually does get the neutral there. It is a quest objective, but he's taunted by Shen, taking so much damage from Corki, and he's going to go down. This is an AD Corki, by the way.
And we do see Corki with an interesting combination of items.
Alright, so drill recaptured. Garen barely surviving Xerath there. He's a little bit caught out betwixt and between, but getting dashed by Riven and but getting stunned. And there's his E, but it's not going to be enough damage to make anything happen. He's going to go down. And Shen under tower tanking because Corki cannot channel the point at all. Defensive garrison was used there. There's the damage down onto Teemo. Teemo getting not stunned. Riven, how could you not kill Teemo? And Corki tanking the tower. Corki's going to go down to the Dominus, but it's a double kill for Teemo. And Teemo, with that, should be able to get close to a neutral on the point just because he has so many creeps there. He is caught behind. Arcano Pulse comes across. Looks like he's going to stealth and just wait here. They will be able to recapture the windmill. And there's your cannonballs. Yay! Teemo died. Alright, so on our Teemo death counter, we have 1 death of the worst champion in the game.
I approve this and I hope to see an increase.
No offense to either team.
No offense to the players.
Yeah, it's just a champion.
You have to understand.
It's nothing personal. You just played Teemo. We have to hate you. Or not even you, we just have to, you know, hate Teemo.
Don't hate the player, hate the champion the player is playing.
Nice stun there onto Garen. It was a good lead from the Arcano Pulse, and he's sort of in the middle of everything, but remember, he is Garen, and he's pretty tanky, but he is getting Rune Prison. There's a slice and the dice, and he goes down, and now they re-engage onto Shen. They're focusing the tanks, but it doesn't matter because Corki is so far out of the battle that he's not even able to get any damage down right now. Has the Phage and Zerkers completed, building towards that Shen. It is going to be that Trinity Force. Trinity Force is so good on that champion, it is ridiculous.
And while Garen may have been tanky, he is tanky basically in the armor aspect only right now. So he did take a lot of damage from the focus fire of Ryze.
And Teemo getting focused down, and Teemo is going to die. Our hero will fighter brings the death counter to 2, doubling the deaths of that little Yordle. Alright, Shen's still wearing the Storm Shield for a little bit longer. Actually looks like bot lane. A little bit of a skirmish here, and he did use Tibbers. Ahri gonna go pretty low as Corki. Oh, there's a flash actually, and he picks up the kill. Gonna go back to top lane now, and Garen actually gonna go backdoor.
Up on top, we do see Renekton backing off to go heal and eventually deal with the Garrett. Or Annie will be picking up the bot objective. We do see Teemo attempting to respond to that.
Doing a nice job of zoning with that Tibbers, but Teemo's just going to run straight past, gets the blind down, the stun goes down, and he has a lot of damage. And also that Moton Shield uses the barrier, nice barrier bait, and Teemo's 3rd death of the game. That was a good barrier bait. Rune Prison onto Enchanter in top lane, and Shen, or Riven going to jump forward with that broken wing. Windslash across, not quite enough to pick up a kill, and he forward gets a stun down onto Garen, but Garen's just spinning. Shen goes down to Xerath. Xerath's coming in, needs the Arcano Pulse or his ult. He can do that too. Unleashed Power picks up double kill there onto Corki and Garen.
And a great cleanup by the Xerath. He just sniped out the Shen, and then he came in, just blew everyone else up with his ult.
Alright, Teemo about to face check into the Xerath. He doesn't quite get the stun down. Has a decent amount of mana, and actually taking a lot of pain from Teemo. But Renekton with the stun gets taunted by Shen there. Should have a re-engage from Xerath. Does not quite land the stun. Shen actually ulting to save his teammate pretty close by. So not going to get the global pressure there, but did save money making sure. But there's the Rune Prison, the flash out! Teemo goes down!
Delicious Teemo deaths. Down bot lane, we do see Annie pushing Ahri quite close to her tower, and Annie with a 2-level advantage on Ahri is going to be really, really bad for purple team.
Yeah, especially because right now Annie has level 11, so she has level 2 ult, and Ahri's still yet to get that level 2 ult, so it's helping Annie out quite a bit, having level 2 summon Tibbers. Does have the stun available right now, and could go in pretty soon. In the middle of the map, we have Nerdy and Know It running away from Garen and Shen. And he's going to be able to get back to the point. There hasn't been too much movement around the map. It's mostly been fights around the windmill. And because there's so much fighting on point, it's gone very, very well for the team that holds the windmill. Ahri having to Spirit Rush defensively, and Toby going to try to start channeling the point again. The flash to charge the charm does not dodge the charm. The burn is not going to be enough because it's based on current health, and Ahri is going to survive with that kill onto Annie. Meanwhile, John Center getting focused down, goes down to Xerath. Xerath is wearing that Storm Shield, making his lightning do even more lightning.
We did see Buff and Roxanne and Garen just sort of abandon Josh and Ro and just leave him to his death there. Not exactly the best team coordination, but...
But who needs a team if you have a Teemo?
Ooh, I see what you did there.
Teemo gets a shutdown there onto Xerath, goes away from Ryze to be able to escape the clutches of that evil villain, that little Yordle. Corki with some good damage here. Fast respawn.
You do see a lack of vision items being up by both team, like considering the fact that they have been just standing on top of their top tower in fear all game. Seems like
Valkyrie forward. If Dominus has to be popped, there's the stomp from Shen, but gets the Q off. Enchanter gonna go down to that wind slash, and Ryze+Renekton is still alive. One Q from Shen would be enough, but the rune prison comes in. It's enough crowd control. Don't step on the shroom. He avoids the health pack. That was so smart, but Garen does pick up the kill. Xerath could not quite get the stun in time.
And down bot lane, we just see another small skirmish going off between Ahri and Annie.
Looks like Barcode healing potions a little bit. Toby has barrier, and actually Barcode has ignite. So both summoners are up for both of these champions, and Ahri level 13 now. They've equalized the experience, and so has a level 2 of Spirit Rush. All these cooldowns are up except for Flash, so, and Toby taking a lot of poke, but gets the stun down from the tippers, and incinerate, and Ahri is very dead.
Mid, we do see a push from purple team.
Ezreal getting chased down. Gonna run back to the refinery here. I'm kind of surprised that Ahri didn't go for an Athene's. Going instead for the Abyssal, that does give her some magic resist. But I almost feel that Athene's would have been a better choice.
Ahri choosing to go for more of that penetration instead of the cooldown reduction. Penetration, both being pretty powerful offensive stats, of course.
So, pretty big fight there. Shen tried to ult out at the very end, but did die to an overload before he could quake it out. And honestly, the saves is just so in command of this game. And as I say that, Enchanter does pick up that kill, but the ghost forward from Lollyberry. Nerdy, you know it, gonna step on that stream, can't quite get across. Not in the W for that Arcana Pulse, so doesn't quite get it. Chasing down onto Garen here. Xerath picks up that kill. Teemo is here. Renekton is trying to stop him from doing anything because he's an evil little Yordle. But Corki picks up the kill. Corki, a much more benevolent Yordle. Razrul going to go down to Corki also. That last rocket. No, he's not. He's going to pick up the health shrine instead. There's a flash forward, and Teemo, our villain, gets a double kill.
And Nerdy and I know it stepped on a shroom, and that resulted in his untimely demise as well.
So this is not going to be game. Osamabinswaggin is going to be able to pick up a 3-cap here, most likely. Ryze is coming up, and he does manage to get the interrupt on all 3 of those captures, but he's not going to be able to hold it for long because they're just going to do a good job of zoning him now. Enchanter is going to be able to pick it up. Teemo should go down to 1 last auto attack or 2 spell flux there. Enchanter chasing down onto Ryze. Last rocket is going to pick up the kill, so that is a successful 3-cap. A little bit of damage onto the drill just from minions there. But the game is not over.
Although Buff and Rock's Gaming does seem to think it may have been, considering how long he was standing still.
Alright, there's the Valkyrie from Corki to just juke Renekton a little bit. Ult comes out from Xerath, takes just Shen very, very low. Razrul going to be able to get out, and Shen is going to go down on the other side. We do have Ahri picking up a kill there onto Xerath. Riven gets Corki, and there's a Spirit Rush in from Barcode. The Spirit Rush over the side, trying to just not get juked by Lollyberry, but Lollyberry is too good for that. Teemo should pick that up with Poison. There's Poison that goes out from Wolfrider. He was going to be fine. But
yeah,
Annie,
Barcode
during
did come
all
up
of that,
from,
picked up the Boneyard.
Yeah, Barcode did come up from bot lane, so he was able to give his team the numbers advantage necessary to win the fight. However, his absence in bot lane meant that Toby was able to walk up to their bot point and take it.
That's what you always have to be careful of if you do leave that position. Toby is here, has the stun, has the tibbers, gets the stun, disintegrate, gets the kill on the Corki, should be able to get the double kill on the Shen also as soon as that disintegrate comes back up. And that is surely going to be game, as no one's in a point to take anything else over on the side of Osamabinswaggin. So it is the saves, victorious over Osamabinswaggin and victorious over Teemo. And Toby adding 1 more to the death count. Teemo died again.
Yeah, good game by both teams.
Alright, Alright, so gonna take a look at the post-game stats, and as you can see, I fixed the overlay from last week, and we can take a look at damage dealt to champions. And Teemo leading his team. Let's have a moment of silence for all of the victims of that evil Yordle. But Xerath actually in the lead in the entire game, and the interesting thing here is that we look at the most damage dealt by the saves, and Annie, Xerath, and Ryze are the most. They're all magic damage dealers, and a lot of the reason that is that if we just go back and take a look at the items, look at all the armor. You know, we have two random Inzomans. We have the
see
Woodlands tab.
very little magic resist being picked up by purple team. Like they're, I think the only magic resist item any one of them built was Ahri with the Abyssal Scepter, and like Shen did have the Mercury traits, but again, that's not like a major amount of MR. And because they had just a complete absence of magic resist, blue team was just able to run them over with their Xerath Ryze combo.
Alright, and then to look at time spent dead, Graveyard Hero is Teemo. We were victorious over
Delicious.
Teemo. 168 seconds of no Teemo in that game. Alright, so with that we are going to cut over to a whole screen, play some K-pop until we can get in the next game. The next game is going to be LPO Optimus versus Something Stupid. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back shortly. This is DominateDominion number 75. We'll be right back.